Welcome to TPK Roleplay. I am your GM Fazul, and this is the penultimate episode of the Atrium of Aquarius, our Altered Carbon campaign. Just as we're using the rule system by Renegade Games and Hunters Entertainment, and just in terms of warnings, the only thing that you really need to think about is, all the violence, the cussing, the adult themes. I mean, there's going to be plenty of those. Also, we're going to have an amazing cast who I can honestly say have blown me away every week that we've been doing this campaign. But in all seriousness, if you're okay with the show, you'll be okay with this. I think we're going to jump right in. So let's go around, do some introductions, and then we're going to pick up a few days after the ending of the last episode, where you managed to escape the sculpt facility, which had been purchased by Psychosec. All right, so I guess we'll go in overlay order, starting with Bright.
Starting upper right this time. Hi, everybody. My name is Bright Dystopia. I'm the main character of my story, Kai Rhodes. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm penultimate Kai Rhodes. I've evolved now, so let's do this. I'm gonna pass it on over to Luca, or penultimate Luca.
Penultimate Luca. I am playing penultimate Fade, or Phaedra Esmira, the criminal. Over to Sarah, penultimate. Sarah.
Hi. The penultimate version of myself is playing the penultimate version of Morrigan, also known as Sonata, who is a person, but is also a construct, and we're kind of reeling from that realization. Kicking it up to the penultimate
GM, I guess, Fazul. There we are.
Oh no, we got Ty.
We got Ty. Sorry.
Who just went his pop filter right on the camera.
Penultimate Ty coming at you with penultimate Pearce. We're gonna have some penultimate fun in this penultimate episode. On over to penultimate David.
Penultimate.
All right, first thing that everybody needs to do is make a geography roll, please. No.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
I'm joking. Since the penultimate's now a thing, we have to bring geography back. No, so essentially, it's been a couple of days. You've escaped. So half of you had infiltrated the sculpt facility, where you had a showdown with Trask and Madison Trask and the evil Morrigan, who broke the real Morrigan's fingers. But in the end, you prevailed. You escaped. Just one thing to update. So Pearce, on the way out of the facility, you were able to grab a sleeve. So you've all returned to Pearce's hideout, which is the hideout of his father, who was an envoy who served with Quellists Falconer. But we will not exactly begin in the hideout. We're going to begin in the dream world, Fade's dream world, to be more specific. So Fade, I'm assuming you sleep. That's funny. I made that assumption, but essentially, you kind of feel disembodied. You almost as if you're floating. For a second, you think, "Am I floating in space, through the sky?" No, you're underwater, and you're floating down, deep into the abyss. All around you is just darkness, and below there is a single source of light, and you can see the ocean floor. You can see the light pulsating along the tendrils of the centillion, or your carnival fish, your pet, your friend. But you can see that the light is pulsating and the tendrils are reaching up towards you. And when they do, all of a sudden, you can see beyond the energy. So you're just mesmerized by the energy, and kind of the energy just becomes bright. The centillion fades away, and you see this both terrifying and beautiful creature. So as you see the outstretched wings, the same energy that is pulsating along the centillion's tendrils is basically radiating out from the central body along the wings. Now, out of curiosity, so this could be seen as beautiful. This could be seen as horrifying. How does Fades see this?
I think it's a kind of a beauty in the horror. Does that make sense? Like,
Yep.
she recognizes that it's horrifying, but it's still beautiful.
And as the wings outstretch, you draw closer and closer, and suddenly, within it, you can see a woman floating all around her orbs of light. And she looks directly at you, and she says, "What do you want?" And then you wake up. So you come awake. So you're in Pearce's safe house. Where would you be? So where would Fade be sleeping?
Fade has made a sort of little rat's nest
Okay.
in the corner of the safe house, building basically a lean-to almost, with whatever materials she could squirrel away or that weren't being used for everything else, and has got just a little tiny hidey hole that she kind of crawls into and sleeps.
So you wake up. You're slightly disoriented, but that was incredibly that felt real. In fact, you can almost feel yourself tingling. And I assume you keep the centillion close by.
Yes.
So it's inside its fun bag, but you can actually see it's glowing so much that the light is leaking out through the seams or through the crack. Even though it's a fairly secure bag, it's intense, and it's almost like the bag is. It's almost like you have X-ray vision. Like when you're looking at the light, you can see it. You can see the shadow of its tendrils, even though you've secured that. You've made this bag metal. It's as if it's just a thin sheet, and you can see the arms stuff moving around inside. That's when you hear someone approach. And you can see, if you're in your lean-to, you can probably just see people's legs moving around. You can see the brand new legs of Enzio. Fade, you in there?
I'm not going to respond immediately. I'm
Okay.
just going to kind of look at my hands and then kind of crawl out of this little area and stand up and kind of stretch gracefully. Do you hear that?
He looks around quite nervously, as if he feels like he should be hearing something, but he's not, which is making him even more nervous. He goes, "No, what is it?"
Waves.
Wait, waves. Oh, it's probably just the air conditioning. He'll say, as he looks back, he goes, "New legs are working pretty good, Fade. Thanks for the adjustments, cuz." He'll say, as he kind of dances around a little bit on his legs. For those of you who were not here last week, Enzio got his legs chopped off by Van Doren Jr. But now he has a pair of synthetic legs, and they appear to be serving him fine. So he dances a little jig, and then he stops. He looks and he goes, "Wyatt says to tell you he wants to talk to you." He has a little bit of a lost puppy look. He goes, "We're leaving, Fade." He says we're leaving.
To go where?
You'll have to talk to him. You know I'd stay, but I've never been on my own. I mean, you understand, don't you?
I understand.
Okay.
And she's just gonna walk off almost absent-mindedly.
Yeah, and you can tell that Enzio is not quite sure what to make of this. It's almost as if it's almost if he doesn't know. He's looking back at you, almost like with very confused look, almost as if he doesn't know you. You can walk through the warehouse, and you can find Wyatt and Gertie. Wyatt's sitting at a table. He's having a drink. He sees you, and he gestures over to you.
You were looking for me?
Yeah. How you holding up?
Good.
Listen, Fade. Even though Van Doren's gone, it's going to be hot for a while. We've been talking it over. We're heading to Brasilia City. Find ourselves a little piece of paradise down there and disappear for a while. Come with us.
No.
Fade. He reaches out and he actually takes your hand. What's your reaction when he does? Or what's your reaction when he does?
I will actually kind of like move forward and like hold his hand like with my other hand. Like I'll grab it with both.
All right. And that takes him a bit by surprise. But he's like, Van Doren is one thing, Fade, but Psychosec is a completely different matter. Your friends are going down a highway, and this is your only off-ramp. You see that, don't you?
There's no off-ramp for me.
You gotta, and you can, when you say that, you know that he knows. Like, you're not telling him anything new. But he had to ask, and you've confirmed what he suspected all along. He goes, all right, I gotta look out for Enzio and Gertie.
You guys will be okay.
You know, I wasn't going to tell you about your mother, but Gertie convinced me that it was important to know where you come from, no matter how much it hurts. I like to think that you turned out better than you would if you were the daughter of a politician. I hope you feel the same way. Take care of yourself.
I feel okay.
Well, take care of yourself, Fade. You'll always have a place with us.
Be safe.
And he'll get up and he looks at, he does take a second look. He looks at you as if he's it's not that he doesn't have confidence in you at all. You know that when he's looking at you, he's looking at you like an equal. He's looking at you like a daughter who has grown up, who has come into her own. But that still doesn't mean he's not afraid. And you can tell he's afraid that this goodbye is it. But he's always been a strong kind of silent type. And he just, whatever he's feeling, he holds it in, and he turns and walks away. Gertie, however, comes forward and gives you a big hug, and she'll say, "I know you'll do all right.
I know you'll do all right.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it." She said. And they will start packing to get ready to go. Now, is there anything else you wanted to do in this moment before I switch?
No, Fade's actually just gonna kind of go and sit in, I'm assuming there's an empty chair around here somewhere.
Yep.
And just kind of lean back in it and just kind of stare upward as if she's like listening to something.
Okay. All right. And this is a bit of a, Pearce, we didn't really we didn't go into a whole lot of detail on the safe house, but it is quite a complex. It has fabrication machines, and it's very cluttered. There's all kinds of things, so it is easy to get lost in it. So so you're probably you probably have your own private area, I assume, where you have your deck, you have your equipment. Brittany is there with you. And you have a new sleeve laying on the table.
And I would have tried to, if it's possible, find a sleeve with as many combat augmentations as possible.
Yeah, well, sculpt. Like you can't walk in the doors of Sculpt to buy a sleeve unless you have like $1 million. So all their sleeves are pretty top of the line. You can probably grab one that was destined for Roman Volkov, the guy who owned the original sleeve that you were all trying to hunt down. So a very strong combat kind of model.
Cool.
So Brittany is standing with you. She's looking at the sleeve. She's looking at you. Of course, her mind and probably your thoughts as well are on your father, who's currently in VR.
Well, let's bring him out.
All right, you fire up the needle caster and upload his DHF into the sleeve. I didn't know I'm just going to put his picture up here just for the sake of, but obviously it's a different sleeve, and he'll open his eyes, take a first breath, and look around, get up. He pulls away the umbilical that's into his arm. He'll walk over and give Brittany, the first thing he does is give Brittany a hug, a lingering hug, a long one. It's the first time he's kind of really held his daughter in the real in a very long time. He then turns to you and he's like, "Thank you, son." And he kind of feeling out the thing. And to yours, on one hand, you're a bit surprised, but on the other, you're not, because you heard the stories. There's no sleeve sickness. He just slipped into this like a familiar pair of slippers. He's fully functional right off the table. He goes, "Brittany, can you give your brother and I a minute?" "Of course, Father." And she'll just kind of whoosh. "I'll check on the others," and fade away. "I know I've disappointed you. I'm sorry about that. All I can do is to try and make it right."
I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just
"But I do, son. You must understand, everything that I did it for you. I could have followed through with her plan. I could have made Quellists Falconer's dream a reality, but I didn't, because I couldn't take away your future, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And I know that Raylene took away the life that you had built for yourself. I know that this, he points to the sleeve that you're in and the safe house. He goes, "I know that this doesn't come close to making up for it, but I will do everything in my power to see to it that Raylene never bothers you again, so that you are free to pursue whatever future you desire. That's all I can do."
well, that would be nice. Is there anything you need?
No, but
This is your safe house. Huh.
he goes, I will gather a few things, but I'm leaving, but I need to reiterate, I am leaving you with her, and you now know what she is. Unfortunately, that is one burden of responsibility that, at least for now, you'll need to shoulder. Once I've taken care of Raylene, I'll come back and resume my watch over your sister. I don't know how long it will be, but in case I fail and I don't return, there are two additional things that you need to know. It's not exactly true that the weapon inside of your sister can't be destroyed. It can be. It's destroyed when it's deployed. The original plan was to insert it into the master DHF network. It would infect everyone, limiting life to 100 years. But if it were to be introduced into a network that was contained with firewalls, where there was no way out, it would only affect that which is on the network, effectively destroying the weapon. It's not something I could ever do, but it may be something that you'll have to do, depending on the circumstances.
Okay. What's the second thing?
The programming. The programming that sets the expiration dates of all DHF to 100 years is variable. The number can be changed higher or lower, significantly lower. And I tell you this because you must understand the gravity of it. Should this weapon be deployed into the central DHF and the number changed to 0, it would kill everyone instantly. You understand?
I understand.
Well then, I guess this is it. He's not quite sure what to do, so he puts out a hand, like to shake hands.
Just shake my head and
Turn to walk away. All right.
reach out and shake his hand.
What do you do? Okay. He'll shake it, and then he will turn and start gathering his things. Gathering his things to leave. Kai. So Akira has regrouped with everyone, and she has been brought up to speed. So she's found out about everything that's been going on, and she has been able to watch the stored memories on the stacks that have been collected. And she just finished watching the one that revealed that Major Darius has been cycled back up in his team, and he's now working for Psychosec. She has just kind of run off after seeing it. She just kind of turned and went up the stairs to it. There's a rooftop area where you can go to, and she's just kind of stormed up there. Would you go after
her? No, she'd need time to cool off, and pushing her when she's pissed is usually the worst idea.
Good judgment. So she will. So about 10 minutes, 15 minutes will go by, and if she were to come looking for you, where would she find you?
I'd probably be in the center room.
Okay.
Giving that new sword of mine a few test swings.
Oh, okay. You're just kind of just a practice sparring training type thing. So she will.
I'm getting used to the weight of this thing because I want to know what it feels like to put it through Darius myself.
Very good. Very good. So she'll come in, she'll sit down, she'll watch you train for a few minutes, give you a few pointers of like widen your stance, type thing. Then she'll look around.
You're swords expert now, are you?
She goes, I'm an expert in everything, don't you? And she'll just kind of smile, but she'll say, you want to go for a walk?
Sure. And I'll put the sword into the ground. I don't care what the surface is made of.
Yep. Very good.
And I'll just leave it standing there,
like
a shovel in yard work.
So you can walk. There are some catwalks and stuff which go outside, and probably like true kind of cyberpunk fashion. There's probably areas of the safe house where when it's raining outside, water drips type thing. So, and she doesn't seem to mind. She just kind of walks in the rain, letting the water kind of wash down. So whether you care whether you get wet, that doesn't matter. She's leading the. She's kind of leading you. Again, you sent to a place where there's really no one around, She kind of goes up to the edge of the catwalk. You can see the water dripping down over the edge of the building. And she leans against the railing and she goes, she'll turn and she says, "You care about her, don't you? It's okay. You know you're like a brother to me."
Who, Fide? No, she's no one. She's an odd little bird. She's a synth.
She'll give you a punch in the shoulder. She goes, "Morrigan."
All right, sure. There's some complicated feelings there. She's a little hard to read.
It's not complicated. She'll say. You just need to. You're good at figuring out a plan to go in and take down the bad guys. You can figure this out. But
let's
she'll say, like it or not, what you feel for her, she's the rudder of our ship right now. Where she goes, your feelings are going to take you in that direction as well. And that direction is going to be right into Darius's crosshairs. She'll actually come forward and kind of, grab a hold of your arms, and she's like looking you directly in the eye, very intense stare. She goes, "You don't know him. You think you do, but you don't. You know that he cycled me up 22 times to have me executed as a part of his squad's initiation, of which you are a part of, and you saved me for that. But there's more that I didn't tell you. I've actually been executed 78 times, Kai. He would suckle me up just for himself. So,
Jesus, Elder Christ.
And he didn't do it out of a sense of duty or to make an example out of me for my betrayal of the Protectorate. He did it because he's fucking evil. And it was very personal. When he finds out that it's you and me riding in Morrigan's wake, Psychosec, Morrigan, his orders, his team, none of that's going to matter. He's going to come after us.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. I swear to you, I'm going to kill him. Even if I die in the process. But I'm not okay if you die.
Listen, let's take it one step at a time. Maybe no one needs to die. Right.
I'm not going to throw my life away, but given the chance, I would, if it meant taking him with me. I won't let him do to anyone else what he did to me. And you now have something more to live for than that shitty apartment and the next job. Do you understand?
Right. Well, slow down, all right? Let's worry about keeping everyone on their own 2 feet before we go discussing.
You're going to promise me. You're going to promise me that you're not going to be the hero. You're not going to be the cowboy. You're not going to face Darius alone. You're going to leave him to me, and you're going to look after her. Promise me that. If not for me, then do it. Then promise it for her. Don't throw your life away over Darius. He's already taken mine.
Right. Well, it's not what John McClane would do, but I suppose if you're going to make me swear.
I know you. She'll say with a smile. If you can be a hero, you will. I'm just asking you to not.
All right, fine.
All right. Well, what are you doing here with me? Go find her. Go.
All right, fine. And he just like skitters away, I guess, like you would from like a parent who's basically dismissed you.
So she'll just stand there letting the rain fall on her as you skitter away. And are you going to find Morrigan?
Yeah, I'll go look for her.
Okay. And Morrigan is by herself, somewhere secluded in the warehouse. or in the safe house, what would she be doing?
Morgan's gonna be in the bathroom, I guess, which I kind of view more like an industrial setting. You know what I mean? A place with like, there might be like a crappy old utility sink, but like the shower is really one where you can like power wash off gear, and like it's designed to be able to take large things. So it's kind of, it's like a large echoey room, and she's got doing that 2 palms on the vanity, just staring at herself in the mirror, kind of like staring and then like catching her breath and like trying to calm herself down for a second, and then pacing around the room as she just kind of lives in the moment where, you know, like it repeats and everything's kind of swirled together, the memories of Aquarius and then Zoe, and then the information that she's not a person, and the scenes from the lab, and they kind of all are like flashing, and she'll just keep kind of repeating this weird, like she's trying to ground herself every once in a while, humming to herself, and then like cutting that off, because then that's a whole new trauma. She just kind of is like trying to sort through and settle enough things in her mind as she paces around this like slightly damp room.
And you keep, and as you pace around, you keep, you can't help it. You keep seeing yourself in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, like she catches herself in the mirror, and there's just a flare of like anger as she sees herself, and she just like, there's just this moment where like out of the corner of her eye, it looks the same way as Zoe did when she came up to like engage with her, and her hands fixed. I'm sure Saren helped her with the equipment to, you know, but like she feels her fingers, you know, and just gets angry, and will just look over to the side where there's some different like tactical vests hanging, and will reach in and like grab a knife and move over to the mirror and just say, "It's not me," as she begins to just hack and cut at her hair, letting it fall like into the sink, slowly like pulling off pieces.
Hi. So this is a big open room. It's normally used to wash. You can use it for a shower, but it is used to wash machines and stuff like that. There's catwalks and gantries. So right at this moment is when you along the catwalk, and you can see this kind of happening. You're kind of looking from above. There's a staircase to your right where you can go down, but you're looking down from above at this happening. So sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. She just like, it's that tight-lipped, like deep breaths, like almost like reassuring, like taunting the visage that she sees as she's actively changing it, while still like reassuring, like, "That's not me, that's not my life," and just like continues to slowly cut her hair off in just massive chunks.
Kai will be leaning over the banister of the railing of the stairs, just kind of looking down, and about maybe 5 or 6 chunks of hair later, he'll like loudly whistle. "You know, haircuts aren't that expensive, love. We could find 10 units to scrape together if you're looking for something new."
She'll stop kind of like mid-cut and look in the mirror to see him behind, and I'm a do-it-yourself kind of gal. She just cuts off another chunk.
"Well, don't let me stand in the way of your independence," and he'll start heading down the stairs, keeping an eye.
So you diligently work away at your hair, and it is, you know, it. And again, I don't want to put thoughts in Morrigan's head, but
Go for it.
But it is empowering in the sense that you know, it's you're doing, even though it's a small thing, you're doing something to kind of shed the Zoe vibe. Now, I think I lost your camera. Did everybody else lose Sarah? I don't know if she can
Just for a second.
Oh, wow, that's cool. That's awesome. Oh, she got me. I'm the GM. That's a twist. Yeah, and you're looking and you like it. Very cool. I'm going to give you a stack point for that. Yeah, so it's actually, so Kai, you're standing there, you can see, it's looking, you can see that the confidence, she's standing looking at herself, not Zoe, not the person she used to be, but the person who she is.
He's just gonna stay. He's staying pretty quiet, and he's just kind of leaning up against one of the sinks with his arms folded, like watching.
What? No snarky comments? No quips? No anecdotes?
Nah, I think it. I think it looks rather good, actually.
I needed to feel like me, I guess, and not like whatever the fuck they tried to make me.
Kai's kind of like repositioning a bunch of. Yeah, no, I think. I think it suits you. It suits you well. It's
Did something happen? Do we have some new like?
No, it's.
You just wanted to come be a weird shit to me. You just thought to yourself, this would be really cool to just go be weird at Morrigan.
Look, if I'm in the way, just say so. I'll make myself scarce.
No, just fucking.
But if you're asking opinions, not that you did, but I like it.
Well, if you were looking for a response, not that you were asking for one, but I would say thank you. God, Kai, I don't know. The thing that you said, I can't get it out of my head.
That I liked it. It's
No. It's not what I am, but who.
Oh yeah.
So, are you sure everything's all right? I mean, I'm down with the like anxious schoolboy bit. It's kind of working for me, but it just does not seem you like at all.
Oh, fuck off. That's not. It's. Listen, you can just shut up, all right? It's not. Kai's gonna just run forward and kiss her.
Oh, awesome. All right. Wow.
And furthermore, and he kisses her again.
Morrigan lets him. She leans in. She lets him kiss her. And after she's done, or, they have that moment, she'll just kind of hold on to his shoulders and look at him and go, okay, well, I hope to continue these conversations at another time.
Yeah, glad we had this row. Glad we've cleared the air. And as he turns around to leave, let's make sure you don't die so we can show, the rest of the world what your haircut looks like. Maybe sometime next week around 8 o'clock. Okay, bye.
Okay, you're both getting stack points. That was very well. Very well played. So Fade, in your chair, staring up at the ceiling. I guess there are many shadows, and but it's almost like there's like if you zone out enough when you're looking into the darkness, you can almost see a kaleidoscope of light.
Yeah, I would assume I'm just kind of focused on that, and
Yep.
I'm swaying to music that no one else can hear. I feel like, as they were kissing in the bathroom, I would have started like just kind of smiling to myself with like a little smirk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I'm basically just like waiting for them to come out.
So you have you positioned yourself so that when they leave that area, they have to pass by? where you're sitting? Yeah. So Kai, as you and Morrigan leave, you just like run into Fade. She just like you're just kind of walking along together. The next thing you know, Fade is there, sitting in a chair, kind of swaying, or leaning in a chair, kind of swaying to music you don't hear.
Kyle make like brief eye contact with him, like stop in the doorway and like don't go in there for like 5-10 minutes and then turn away from her and walk down the hallway.
So Morrigan, when you come out, Fade, you see new haircut.
Fade also has hair. She's changed her appearance slightly. And her hair, she now has like kind of longer in front and just kind of wavy ocean blue colored hair. Time
Well,
for a change.
this is embarrassing. One of us is definitely going to have to change our outfits. We just look too alike, if you wouldn't mind. Hi, Fade.
Hi. I heard something. It sounded like a song you sang.
Which one?
I'm not sure which one of you it was from.
I'm sorry, Fade. Like, I understand that there's like some trippy dippy shit that you've got going on, but like, what do you mean? Which one? Fuck. What did it sound like?
Sarah, I am not going to sing for you on stream.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like, just like lyric wise, hum wise, like whatever.
She
It
is
doesn't matter.
absolutely going to hum a melody that Morrigan like recognizes, one that she hums to herself, kind of
So-
absent-mindedly.
So can I ask a question? So Morrigan, you were humming to yourself in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you cut your hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether this creeps you out or not, Fade hums the exact same tune.
So, okay. All right. I'm just going to ask you a question, and I understand it's going to sound shitty, and I'm going to be honest, Fade. I kind of mean it a little shitty. Do you know what personal boundaries are? Is that something you recognize that exists? No.
Not
Okay.
anymore.
What do you mean? Okay. Yeah, that's one of mine. That's one of my songs. It's a bop, I guess, is what I've.
No, I heard it.
Okay. All right.
We have things to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Is your crew okay?
They will be. Are you ready?
I don't think I've ever had the luxury of that question before. I don't know, Fade. It's happening whether I like it or not, though, right?
I don't think it has to happen in the way they want it to. You're more
Who do
than
you
the
mean?
sum of your parts.
It's kind of what I'm betting on, if I'm totally honest. Your weird fish done more weird fish shit?
Yes.
You know, there's this cool thing that you can do. It's called elaborate. And when someone asks you a question, you can just,
I don't know who I am. It's hard swimming in here. But I can see you. I saw you. I saw you in the swirling lights where all the souls were. I felt you. And I felt her. I can hear the waves when she worked the harvesters. I can hear the ocean above where she laid at the bottom for years.
Are you okay? Okay. Are you talking about Athena?
No. I'm talking about Aquaria, I think, is what she calls herself. But I'm also talking about you, I think. I hear so much music in my mind, and so much of it is you. You're like a whole symphony come together. All these little notes and instruments, and it's very loud in my brain.
Can you show me?
Maybe. And DM, I'd like to just hold my hands up and pull her forehead close to mine and just kind of forehead to forehead.
All right. Morrigan, you have witnessed Aquaria, one of the rituals at the atrium, where Aquaria, all of her followers came forward, and she actually was able to draw their DHF stacks, or their stacks out of their DHF out of their stacks, so that they purely existed as beings of energy. Fade will reach forward. Can I ask you a question, Fade? Where is the centillion?
It's still in my little hidey hole.
Yep. So Morrigan, over Fade's shoulder, you can see somewhere in the distance, there is a scintillating light of something glowing. So you can both give me, this will be discipline.
Oh, shit.
I know you guys are going to twist my arm. Maybe it's expression. That may make it.
Yes.
I would much prefer expression.
Yes, please.
Kind sir.
I got a 4.
I also got a 4.
Goal
4
of
under 5.
Yep.
Hey, Sainsies.
So many levels.
So so you actually touch sorry, did you touch hands or you touched her forehead?
I basically just brought her head in and like did the
Oh,
forehead
you're
to forehead
touching
thing.
Yeah, okay, all right. So while Kai is out feeling quite good about himself somewhere amongst the machines, an almost utter body experience is going to happen. So for a second, so when you touch foreheads, Morrigan, you remember when you touched Athena, and then you felt like you were touching. It was you felt like she was touching you, you were touching her, like you could feel both people. That sensation occurs again, in the sense that you feel your forehead touching Fade's and Fade's forehead touching yours simultaneously. Now you both got one success, correct? So that's not that's you know that's kind of a minimal success. So I'm going to let each of you share with each other one idea. So the one success or one thought or one idea or one revelation. If you want to think about it, I can cut away. If you need to think about it, if not, you can just go with it.
I would take a minute,
Okay.
Luca, if you can.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
you've got something.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So just think about that. So this is a non-verbal. It could be an idea. It could be a feeling. It could be a memory. It could be anything that you want that you're going to share. And the way that it's shared is literally energy passes from one of you to the other, and there's this exchange. Meanwhile, Pearce, your father, he leaves. With no more words, he gathers up what he needs and he departs. When he's gone, Brittany will reappear. And when normally she reappears like right beside your desk. This time she reappears like back in the corner, kind of gets a gate, working over the desk type thing, or at your deck.
Yeah, I think there's a moment where he's like he's doing his best to just kind of work and keep all of his emotions out of his mind. And he just kind of, it's not working, so he gets frustrated and kind of slams his hands down on the table, and he's just kind of looking down at whatever he's doing.
Yep.
When Brittany appears.
So she will step forward, place a hand on your shoulder. She will say, "Are you all right?"
Yeah. Thank you for checking. It's weird. You don't. I didn't want him here, but it's weird to see him go again. It's fine.
I know.
Anyway.
I'll say Van Doren Jr. I've run his DHF through the interrogation program. He broke surprisingly easy. I think it's as if he has some lingering psychological damage from what happened on the ship.
Well, either someone messed with him pretty good, or
Someone
know.
messed with him pretty good.
Fade. Or he's just got a weak mind. I don't know.
Gathered all relevant information regarding Psychosec.
What have you found?
They are looking for the creature that Fade is carrying. It's called the Centillion, a life form from Neo Atlantis. Although there's not a lot of information that exists about them. Historically, they weren't deemed as holding any commercial value. Whereas Zale aquaculture is primarily focused on the harvesting of algae to convert into food proteins. But this creature, I believe, is somehow connected to the Atrium of Aquarius on Neo Atlantis. Van Dorens did some research. They were in the employ of Psychosec, but they didn't help them. They discovered that the creature was smuggled to Earth on a ship carrying owned by Zale Aquaculture that was shipping essentially protein base. Van Doren wanted to capture it and auction it off to the highest bidder. But I don't think there's nothing in Van Doren's memory to indicate that they knew what it was.
And
One-
I'm guessing they didn't know why Psychosec wanted it.
No, I don't think their intelligence, their relationship with Psychosec was rather new. I don't believe they had the time to, while Van Doren's had extensive resources, their resources pale in comparison to Psychosec. However, they did conduct a smuggling job. She'll say, Psychosec had Van Doren smuggle an item into World City. So World City is Hong Kong, essentially. It is the single largest city on Earth, actually in all of the Protectorate. She had them smuggle in a nanite molecular railgun. Weapon itself is worth several hundred million credits. They delivered it to a group. The Van Dorens looked into it. A group of Quellists. So basically, they wouldn't be envoys. They wouldn't actually have known Quelquist Falconer, but those who kind of came after her and followed her beliefs call themselves Quellists. A group of Quellists who call themselves the Endless. So
Have we heard that name before? The Endless?
they did. They were responsible for an explosion that killed a trade delegation. So right now,
That's right.
there's a very delicate trade negotiation going on between Earth and the off-world colonies. It looks as if they're trying to basically, if they're Quellists, their ultimate goal at the end of the day would be to overthrow the Protectorate.
Okay.
So she will say, while Van Doren did his best to bribe, to find, a crack in Psychosec's armor, he didn't get much more than that, except that this nanite molecular railgun is tied to something called Project Remoras. That's REMORAS. I looked it up. It's a fish that that piggybacks on sharks. That's what the name means. I doubt
Right.
that's what the project is about. She'll say. And Saren, just so you can give me, you don't need to make a roll because you seem to be you're a tech. You're in the know when it comes to tech.
Sure.
Here's what a nanite monomolecular railgun does. It's essentially like a nano emitter or a nano swarm. It's a nano swarm that carried in a case that, when activated, forms a piece of artillery, which is a railgun. But the railgun, the bullets that it fires are on the molecular level. So if you were to think about being hit with a molecule. But they are so basically the range is line of sight. So essentially, if it can point at it, regardless of obviously if it's on another planet, that would be ridiculous. However, the molecule would travel, just take a long time. But it basically fires a particle in a straight line of sight direction. There is no known armor that can protect it. In fact, if, for example, you were across the city and you had a monomolecular railgun and your target was on the other side of the city with 200 buildings between you, you could shoot through every one of them. The molecule, when fired, just won't stop until it hits something denser than it, which is very little. It's an incredibly dangerous weapon, and it's manufactured by Volkov Arms. Roman Volkov is the guy who's the pleasure sleeve, who owned the pleasure sleeve that you were looking for earlier. So the Van Dorens smuggled this into World City for Psychosec.
For Psychosec.
That's right. Yeah. they utilized when they came upon the Van Dorans. Like the Van Dorans they own the black market. They're connected to the Yakuza, so they were just a better option to getting it in undetected.
I wonder what they would want with that, and what this Project Remorage is.
Yeah, apparently it is headquartered in World City, but the exact location, the Van Doren doesn't know that. Although they were looking for more information, they just didn't find it.
Right. Keep looking into this, Brittany. I need to figure out what everyone wants to do. I mean, obviously we have targets on our backs, but I don't know where we want to start with that. Thankfully, the Van Dorans are off the table, but now we have Psychosec.
So I'm going to switch back, and while I do, if you can make an investigation roll for me.
Sure.
And then when I get back to you, I'll ask you what that roll is for. Okay. Do you need more time, Fade and Morrigan?
No, I'm good. And I'll go first. As their foreheads touch and then those like consciousness kind of blur, it'll look like a cam from Morrigan's view. She's hunched over a bar, her kind of long arms loosely draped around a drink, and she's looking down the bar at a very brightly colored individual with long blue hair tied up in buns and eyes that look manic and inviting. And the sense that Fade will get is like it'll be Morrigan's initial impressions when she first met Fade. Unfiltered, unmitigated, no harsh like outer shell. And it will be this girl is beautiful. As she talks, it'll be she's funny. She like the different quips that she made at these initial meetings. It'll be like this person's clever, this person's experienced pain, and it'll kind of end on the moment where eventually Morrigan got up and looked at Cassiopeia and said, "I don't know about this one." And Cassiopeia talked about the crew, eventually believing in her and turning and looking at Fade, who has this just perfect little smile on her face and her eyes gleaming with curiosity. And she'll feel Morrigan like thinking, like just being completely enamored in that moment by this girl's just manic curiosity and energy, as you hear Morrigan's own voice in kind of your head that says, "You hear that, sweetie?" And you watch as Fade's eyes like light up with being acknowledged, and you can feel like Morrigan smiling. And that's the idea that'll cross over.
So in your mind, you're not actually going to hear Fade? You're going to hear a different voice that you recognize, and Fade is just basically the conduit. She's trying to pass along this message. And you're going to hear almost like in an echo, I showed you how to bring all those different personas together. Instead of the 100 different instruments playing solo, be the orchestra. Play the song. Psychosec believes they are only dealing with what they created. Show them the person you have become. And then after Fade like breaks off, she's actually like gonna like almost have like flop sweater on her, and she's gonna turn to the side and just throw up. And then she's gonna actually like look a little bit more like herself, like in her mannerisms after that, almost as if she's like purged herself a little bit of whatever was happening.
Oh my God. Fade, are you all right? And Morgan's gonna immediately begin to like attend, trying to hold back hair as you stretch.
I'm just gonna wipe it off my mouth. I'm better now.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Totally not freaking out about whatever the fuck this all is. Okay. We should go talk to the others.
I've had entirely too many people in my mind lately.
I know the feeling. It's fucking the worst.
Let's go find the others.
Oh, you can eventually all be gathered together with Pearce. You can everyone can be gathered kind of in the central room where you must decide on your next course of action. And before I go over to you, I apologize. I just need to turn my chair around. So I have a 5.5 pound Yorkshire Terrier, and right now he's sitting behind me, staring at me, going. Pick him up and put him on his chair. He has a chair. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. You give me 2 seconds.
You're fine.
Dang those pick-me dogs.
Actually, do we just want to...
Oh!
I was going to say take a break, but then there was a puppy.
Too quick.
Quick, Luca, cut to puppies.
Listen though.
For the record, yes, he can get up on the chair himself.
Oh, but he wants you to lift him.
He just doesn't.
That's
want
the
to.
whole, yeah.
Yeah, he's like.
Fazul, did you want to take a break while we were kind of at it?
Oh, sure, let's do that. Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The truth, and I owe it all to you. So good.
We're back, by the way.
You son of a bitch.
I would have done the same thing. But damn you, Luca.
Anyway.
Welcome back to the antics of the Atrium of Aquarius. No, where we last left off, our intrepid team were dealing with the aftermath of, I guess, the days following their escape from the Psychosec facility, and now you are faced with a decision: where to go from here. So Pearce, I had you make an investigation roll. I forgot to tell you that it would be advantaged because Brittany is helping you. And actually, now that I realize that you're on your private deck, so I believe investigation falls under the same attribute as computer stuff. It does. So give you a triple advantage. That's great.
Well, let's see here. I had the time of my life.
The time of my life.
So I rolled a 2.
Yep. Okay.
Then I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Then I rolled a 1.
All right. So
under 60.
Yeah. So we said we had established that a 1 means that you get to make it up. So you get to make up the rest of the adventure. Go ahead, take over. We're gonna. No. So a 1. Perfect roll. Perfect roll. So essentially, I won't go through everything that I went through on the nanite monomolecular railgun and the smuggling. I'm assuming you tell them all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you had said no, that would have been a curveball. I would have been like, okay, where do I go from here? So in addition to that, basically. Here's what you guys know. You know that Trask and Psychosec are up to something in World City with this railgun. She has some connection, just like she had the connection with Van Doren. She has a connection with this pseudo-anarchist terrorist group called the who are kind of follow the teachings of Quellists Falconer. And this is where we're going to channel a little bit of Fast and Furious. The Endless got their start as a racing gang. So World City is essentially like Coruscant. It's a city built on top of a city, built on top of a city. So the old Hong Kong is actually underground. All of the streets, all of the highways, and they are just not used anymore because almost all of the population lives in the sky. So who has claimed the underground? Well, a very thriving kind of black market nightlife, like it's thriving, but it's basically there's no real law. It's not policed. It's not patrolled. The law is essentially yourself. Should you go there, and that is where the Endless exists. And what is happening right now in World City is an event called the Endless Rave. So if you picture the entirety underground of Hong Kong engaging in one gigantic party of 100,000, 200, actually, I guess thinking about Hong Kong, it could be like, 500,000-600,000 people engaged in this rave. That is where you will find, that is where the railgun went. That is where you will find the Endless. What else can I tell you? Just remind you of Project Remora. So that's the, oh, yes. There's one other thing, since you got a one, I'll give this to you. There's one other thing which is happening right now, or happening in World City, and that is the trade negotiations. Every person, map of importance, is going to be in World City. Bancroft, Volkov, even Trask from Psychosec. They are all going to be in World City at a location called the Summit House, which is essentially, let me just see if I can show it, because you guys can bring this stuff up. Just let me see if I can show you a picture here. Yeah, I might as well drag this over because this would all be on the news.
Meanwhile, I'm raiding everything edible in Saren's safe house and just eating all of it.
What do you have much in the way of food, Saren?
Tortillas and shredded cheese.
So Summit House is essentially like the Atrium. It's this structure that ascends into the clouds. And this event, which is not only being attended by the Meths on Earth, but Daedalus Zale, Danica Harlan, Meths from all over the Protectorate are coming here for this power summit. It is being presided over by Delina Asmira Khan, which might be familiar to some of you, perhaps. Whether it's connected or not, but you do have a sinking feeling that Psychosec is up to something that involves more than just Morrigan. She's a piece. There could be a piece of it. In fact, you're quite certain that she's definitely a cog in the machine that is their grand plan. But what is it? Who knows? But to find Trask, you captured Van Doren to find Trask, but he has led you to the Endless. Perhaps the Endless will lead you to Trask and their master plan, but you're not sure. Or you could just say, hey, we're going to run away and hide, and I guess the adventure's over.
I hear Brazil is nice this time of year.
Or you might have something else in mind. Yeah.
So this Endless group, cult, secret handshakes, that whole shit. Do we know anything about them? How to get in?
Yeah, I will give you, since I keep forgetting you got a one. There's one other, and more. You know what? Sonata would probably, if as soon as he says the Endless Rave, that would probably resonate with you. I'm going to say that in previous Endless Raves, Sonata has played them. It is literally the biggest event in the Protectorate, right? All illegal, all underground, but that strikes me as something that's right.
Oh,
up-
absolutely, Sonata's jam.
As for the endless, there is one section of the city of the underground where cars are rallying. So essentially, every street sky, they're not just street racers; they're street sky racers, is gathering because one of the key events of the endless rave is the endless race, and that is like 4,000 cars going up into the streets. They basically try and take over World City with this race, which is all illegal, by the way. So if the endless are in fact the prime racers, they're going to be in it.
Right. So the way I see it is this. I don't know what the fuck this cult is about, but I know whatever the fuck Trask wants to do, I want to stop it. And if I can stop it, then I can just stop fucking hiding and live my life.
I agree. So, is Sonata going to make an appearance at the Endless Rave?
I can probably sort it out. I'll have to check into some stuff. I'm pretty sure Yellow Jacket was playing this year. I can maybe hop onto her set. Oh God, I hate it. Got any booze?
If the Endless Rave gets us access to that Sonata playing, is there a way we can get access easily to the trade negotiations? Is the winner of the listen? This is gonna sound out of a freaking story, right? But is the winner, by chance, is the winner of the Endless Race presented as a champion to the trade negotiations to become a new math or something like that?
The endless race is completely illegal, and the Protectorate will be doing. If you're a driver in the endless race, when you rise up into World City, the security forces of the Protectorate will be doing everything in their power to stop and capture. That's what makes this race so. I mean, they picked it because right now, World City, there's a summit. Every important person in the Protectorate is there. So this is anarchy, which is essentially what the Endless stand for. But it's more than just them. They are kind of the inspiration. I mean, they've got a cult following. They're in the World City underground. But this event is absolutely not sanctioned, and no, the winner's not going to get to shake the hands of Asmira Khan.
Well, if we're going to do something, doing it during the race is probably a good idea. The Protectorate's gaze will be averted.
I'm going to give you a stack point for that, because that insight, you also realize, and the stack points that I give you in game, you can use above the 10 that you're limited to in a game. So you would essentially have more. You hit it exactly. This race is going to throw World City into chaos, which not only opens a door for you, it opens a door for Psychosec.
So what do you want to do?
Well, if we can find the Endless, or figure out where their leadership is, join their ranks or something, we can Trojan horse with them.
You just want to casually join a cult called the Endless. You couldn't have picked something fun like the Sometimers or Only Every Other Weekenders.
No, I think the Weekend and A Day to Remember and a bunch of other names were already taken, so I think the endless is all we got.
My point being, we can't get any deeper with anything. If we join this cult and they're in line with Psychosec, we're basically handing me and Fade's pet directly over.
Akira goes, we don't need to join them. We just need to stop them. Right? This weapon, this railgun.
Well, yes. Psychosec smuggled the railgun in, so I'm assuming they are aligned, right? That being said, depending on what they're doing, if we can get Trask in the line of fire, that would also be pretty nice.
You can operate this thing?
I mean, if it's a weapon made out of materials and electronics, then Kai or I can probably figure it out. We've got a couple brain cells between us.
Okay, but can we ask a bigger question here? Why is Psychosec taking this weapon to World City?
Yeah, good question.
Why are they taking this weapon to World City? Why the fuck do they give a shit about me in context of it? Why the hell does Aquaria have anything to do with it, right? Like, think about it. They've got a room of fucking meths.
Well, why does anybody bring a weapon anyway?
Right. But here's what I'm saying. Who's the target? Can't be this fucking cult. We're talking countless cars. But if you put a bunch of rich fucks in a single room on the top of a tower...
Guess it depends on the firing rate of this weapon. Is it like... It's a molecule, right? So, like...
Yeah, it fires molecular ammunition.
You'd think you'd have to spray and pray to get everyone.
Not if you have a person on the inside who can acquire the targets via paint. Electronic paint.
Fade.
You know what I'm saying?
I know you're feeling better, but while Aquaria was like, she didn't give you any indication of what they wanted from her, did they?
I gave you her message. If there's an answer, you have it. But if we want to go there, maybe get in. I'm sure a famous musician that throws underground shows would be good. But if we don't want to hand them you, and Fade's going to just change her appearance to look like you, I could try and play some music. And you guys try and get inside.
I think getting inside, first of all, that's just a whole bunch. Could you look like yourself for just...
Yeah, and she'll shake it off.
Thanks. Listen, getting in is fine and all of that shit, but we get in and then what? If we don't know what we're trying to stop, we won't be able to stop it. We'll just be running around with our head and we'll literally get our heads cut off. So what do we fucking know?
It seems like not much. Is there a way we can acquire maybe just a tad more information before we go running into hell?
I think that's where we start. To Pearce's point with the endless. We go there, we find out what information they have to finish the puzzle. We need a list. Who the fuck do we need to keep our eyes out for? Psychosec? Who else?
The Protectorate, always.
The Protectorate. The Van Dorans are melted. Who else?
Well, One Van Doren is melted.
Don't we have the other?
The other one's out of commission, but he's not dead.
The syndicate has crumbled. You
But
know,
I only melted one.
the syndicate is in chaos, so it's not a factor anymore.
You've shown quite a bit of restraint there, Fade. I'm very proud of you for only melting one crime lord. Okay, but is that it? Are those the only?
Akira,
Listen,
Akira raised a hand. She goes, "Listen, I'm trying to come up to speed on this, but when I watched those memories on those stacks that you had, you died on a table that didn't have a needle caster, and you appeared out of a bioscanner. How exactly did you get there?"
it's this Aquaria thing. It's this.
So are you saying that you can, this project Remoras, it's in a psychosec facility? Psychosec specializes in sleeves. Every facility is going to have bioprinters. Are you saying that you can jump from one to the other?
I fucking guess.
Without
What
any-
happens if you click your heels together and try?
Let me
without-
try it. And she'll straighten up with like one drink in her hands and get really focused, looking down at her heels. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Did it work?
Nope. Guess you're not good enough
Oh, fuck. Disappointing.
for all of us.
The only way I fucking know how to do that is to fucking die.
Well,
Akira pulls out a gun. She goes, "Well, no, you get my point. You can leave your sleeve without a needle caster, and it's been involuntary. But can it be voluntary? I guess is my question."
I guess there's one way to find out. Do we have something I can borrow, Saren? Do we have bioprinter, nano bucks?
We do have someone we can call.
Well,
Leave Callie out of this if that's what you're thinking. No, just
Brittany, can you thaw out Morrigan's other sleeve?
yes, of course, Saren. She hasn't seen it. You know.
I appreciate the concern,
Of
but
course,
I watched my other version get decapitated. So,
I understand. She'll bring the sleeve out in its sealed package. Pretty horrendous.
sealed for freshness, huh?
What do you want me to do with it? It's dead.
Is it possible that we would have a like empty stack laying around?
Well, you know what? Probably, yeah. Tons. Yeah.
You know, make sure the broken stack is removed and
Fade's gonna pull out a few that she's just kind of been collecting and feeding to her pet. Do you want to borrow one?
yes, please. Do you want to build a stack, man?
So you can get an empty stack. The body is, however, dead. So putting an empty stack into it, you can kind of try to sew the pieces together, but the body is unfortunately.
I don't think the body is dead because it was just the stack that was ripped out by what's his face, right? It was just the stack that was destroyed.
There was. I guess it would have tore the throat out. The body would have. The body would have expired unless somebody took
Forcibly removed by a tangerine dicer, but yeah.
like that. Like I guess if you recall the show, that weapon was pretty brutal. Like it would have taken out pretty much the whole throat. So unfortunately, the body is dead. However, Morrigan, you hear Athena's voice, but it sounds like it's Athena's voice. No, it's Fade's, and it says, "You can find me in the music." You remember on the bridge.
Right. Okay. Right. You got a sound system in here, Saren?
Yeah.
Great. Morrigan's gonna kind of walk herself over to like the console for the music system.
Yeah.
And she's gonna, dial into Sonata's music, whether she's casting or whatever the fuck. She's gonna do that. And before she hits play, she's gonna look at everybody and be like, just give me a minute. And she'll hit play and turn the music up really loud. And then go find like a place to sit like down, and we'll just focus on the music, slowly getting lost in it, and begin like humming melodies or harmonies along to try and like get in tune with the music.
What are you doing, Fade? Besides dancing.
I would have given her, when she said, hold on a second, I would have just given her a really big, like, grin and two thumbs up. And now I'm just dancing, very over-exaggerated, just kind of like, while she sits down and tries to focus.
Okay. So, Morrigan, you hear your music. And I'm assuming that Sonata would have this kind of underground radio frequency that followers could tune into and hear the music. So it's not like you're being played on a radio station or anything.
Right.
Not on any established platform like the future Spotify.
Right. She wouldn't like to say anything. She might even be like casting from her personal like network or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, it's your own app, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right. In this case, we'll stick with expression.
Okay. Oh hell yeah, that's a 1.
Oh my
Hell yeah. 1 under 5.
All right. So you're listening to the music. The music is kind of interacting with your ears, which the stimulus, but it's your stack that's hearing it, and it's like, and it's not musical notes, it's like energy, and you can sense it from beyond your body. You actually sense the music kind of leak from you to the others in the room, because they're hearing it as well, but in particular, so if each of them you almost see their stacks, because the music is kind of a wave of energy or lightning that's lashing out and interacting with everyone's stack in the room. So you don't see them, you just see the light in the stacks. Everyone's would be relatively dim, except for there's one stack which is dancing around in front of you. It's particularly vibrant, and you know that is Fade. Beyond her, a stream of energy leaves her and goes to the Centillion, which I'm assuming is still in your little lean-to, and its energy is bright as well. And you can act with a 1. You can actually move beyond it and see this vast network of millions of people who are listening to the music in this very moment, and you can travel along it like it's a piece of like it's a fiber, and you're an internet signal. You can actually move around it, and to your surprise, like you can actually pause at each of the different nodes, and it's like you're actually there. There's like a 15-year-old girl listening to it in her room. There's an older gentleman sweeping up his shop as it plays. You can choose to pause at any one of these nodes and experience that person's life for a brief instant before you move on. It's extremely it feels like you're flying and you're seeing all of these listeners at once connected by your music. How far do you let yourself go?
She was doing this with the intention of seeing if she can find another place to kind of port into. So her intention's going to be kind of reaching out. She would be trying to get back to the sleeve that she was in on Neo Atlantis with Athena.
So beyond Earth, you see in the distance those lights. You could go towards it. So the network, goes beyond Earth, extends out into the off-world colonies. However, there is a pretty significant concentration of lights, and in your mind that it's World City. You can actually see the rave. To be honest, they would probably be playing some of Sonata's music, so there would be high density concentrations of people.
Oh yeah, then that makes more sense. If she can scope that out, she would cast herself in that direction.
And as you're there, I'm actually going to have you make a discipline roll, please.
Okay, let me double check what die I use for discipline. Okay, great. That is a 2 under 5.
So 2 under 5, a great roll. As you kind of descend onto World City, and you're surrounded by these lights, you're moving around at essentially the speed of light along the network from one person to another. You can feel the energy. Suddenly, you're pulled. You're not traveling on your own. You're pulled kind of off the network along a route, and you actually are pulled into an area of the network where someone is leeching away the energy. Someone is drawing it to them. The music is playing there as well, but you have felt this presence before, and you are left with the impression, essentially, a thought enters your head, and it's essentially, the music says we all are one, and I will become all. And you realize that it is the AI intelligence, Dr. Locks. He's active. And if you remember the session where you first came out of the bioscanner in the psychosec lab, Trask instructed Zoe to release him. But you made your discipline roll. You don't get pulled in that direction. You can resist it. But he's like a leech on the system.
Remind me this AI's name again.
The Locks, L-O-X. He's the guy who you encountered in the session.
Yeah. So, just so I understand correctly, he's he's leeching energy from the DHF system into himself
whereas everybody else is a part of the network, and the network pulls away a little piece of the DHF and shares it. It's almost like it's a sharing of the experience. The Locks only takes, he doesn't share.
Gotcha. So it's like a vacuum where he's pulling it in.
So if a memory comes into his sphere, he sucks it up and doesn't release it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But he is in World City.
Okay, understood. So I guess she would be looking.
And yes, you can sense where bioscanners are. You can use them.
Okay, awesome. She's looking for bioscanners, and the last thing that she would try to do, understanding the street race is happening, is try to follow the connections to the Endless, trying to find any mention or vibe of them, just to get anything from it before coming back. She's learned that psychosec has moved a bunch of weapons or items to World City. They're planning something there, but she's trying to get us like a edge of where do we need to go, kind of a deal.
If you roll the 1, I'm going to say that some of the endless are perhaps listening to Sonata. And again, you're just getting, at this point, it's almost like you're, so I would describe it as you're going by on a slide and the person is standing there. So you have that moment that you pass to kind of take their details, but you can take in their mind too, not just their physical appearance.
Right.
So the thing that, so you know where the endless are in the rave. The thing that you pull away from them is the belief that they are going to end the Protectorate. And it has to do with Summit House. So this is not just a party of, this isn't just a rave. This is the final party before it all comes down, based on what they think.
Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die kind of vibes.
Yeah. And then you're back. Or if you want to be back.
Nope, that's fine. She warps like back, and it'll just kind of like her consciousness slamming back into her sleeve as she kind of takes a deep breath and then looks up at like that kind of when you wake up from a dream and you don't remember where you are kind of vibe. She'll look up. Okay. Yeah, I can just do that, I guess. Okay. Right. Do you remember the AI from the oh god, sorry, it just kind of did. Do you remember the AI from the Psychosec warehouse that we encountered?
Yeah, the creepy guy that cut up sleeves and occupied them.
Right. Psychosex moved that to World City. It's there and it's pulling data from the network. It's whatever the fuck they're doing, they're involved. The Endless, they're there to end the Protectorate. They plan on doing something with Summit House, or at Summit House. It's possible the railgun's there as a defensive measure. Either way, that's what's going on, but we should, gosh.
It's all
Fade's gonna come over, looking very much like almost 1950s housewife, with a little apron, with a little napkin, and just go to pat Morrigan's forehead. Did you have a nice trip, sweetie? I'm gonna hand you just a half-drink beverage, with a lipstick stain on the rim.
Morrigan will take it and drink from it, just kind of like whatever, and kind of look at Fade like side-eyed and like, normally the trips are a little bit more fun than that one, but at least it was something. We've got to get our asses to World City. There are bioscanners. She'll look at Akira. There are bioscanners there that I could use if I need to.
More fun?
All right, I'll get us.
You mean the trips where you die are more fun than the one? You know what? I'm not shaming anyone.
I assume needle casting in is the question.
You listen. I'm making the assumption that I've got the vibe from Fade that she doesn't like to leave her synth body. So no, I mean, you could choose the needle cast into a rent-a-sleeve, or you can jump in a sky car and be there in like an hour.
Oh, it's that close?
Well, it's not that close. So you're in San Francisco.
You can just move fast.
And it's in Hong Kong, but it's just that they fly, the vehicles fly so fast, so it doesn't, so it's not really.
It's on the same planet.
Yeah, transportation is not really an issue.
Technology.
That's right.
What is some of it?
Mm-hmm. But it's up to you. If some of you would rather, needle cast, that's fine. And of course, so just to be clear, Morrigan, if you know where the locks is, which is
Yeah.
which basically means you know where Project Remoras is. Probably.
Yeah.
You are the only one who can. You are the only one who can basically appear in the bioscanner. However, the bioscanners are typically attached to needle casters. If you could enter the bioscanner and the facility, this is a big if. If you could get
Right.
access to the needle caster, you could pull other people in, and their bodies would literally clone in the bioscanner or the bioprinter. Except, she's a synthetic. Unfortunately, here's the crazy thing that would happen. Maybe a curveball for you, Luca, but all DHF, your original kind of DNA is kind of a part of the code. Now, people occupy different things, but if you take a DHF and you put it in the bioscanner, it defaults to the original code. So she would actually appear as she would be if she had grown up from a baby into an adult. Her real body, which might be, I don't know what would happen.
Fade's gonna see everyone looking around like as if they're trying to figure out how to be there, and she's like, I'm just gonna take a cab there. I will see you there in an hour.
That's fine. I think we should all probably just fly.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on trusting the on-site printers.
But if you, Morrigan, if you want to poof there, maybe it would be easier for you.
They're state of the art. I think I'd be fine to go in. Saren, if you could loan me your AI, her sister or whatever, we might be able to infiltrate the systems from the inside. Get you guys in. You draw them to the outer walls while I go in, wreak havoc, and get you guys in.
Okay. I mean, if we just wanted an end to, World City, or that's what it's called, World City, right?
Yeah.
We could just call up our buddy Kellen Palmer. He owes us a debt.
He does. That might be something to get us to Summit House. I don't know if he's got enough sway with the meths, though. But if this Project Remoras is what Psychosec wants, then I want to fucking burn it to the ground.
Yeah. Yep, hopefully take them with us. Or with it. I don't want to die.
So you have three potential targets here, or options. You have Summit House, the Endless Rave, where the Endless are essentially going to start their race, and you have this location where the Locks is located. Sandbox, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
One, all three, two, doesn't matter.
One second, I'm checking my notes to see if I know a thing or not, because I think I know a thing, but I don't know if I know the thing.
Are we voting on where to go? Because the
So
party
you can
sounded
assume
kinda
that
fun.
Summer House is the target. The Endless is the weapon. The Locks is
Freaky.
the mastermind, or the plan.
Okay, so here's the thing. If we wanted to go covertly to the summit, I genuinely think there is only one person who has not met someone that's going to be there. And that's Kai. So if Kai is comfortable sneaking into a highfalutin meth...
We could get you a nice suit.
You're saying I get to infiltrate a meth establishment and set it on fire?
The club of clubs, my friend.
I could kiss you right on the mouth right now. just for suggesting it. Saren,
Akira
let's
goes,
got my vote.
Akira goes, just to be clear, you're not going to set it on fire, right? You're going to save them, right?
Wait, what?
If Summit House is the target, that's Psychosec's target. Maybe.
I mean,
Or you want to save them by killing them.
enemy of my enemy. There's something about this.
So can I ask Fade,
Wow.
can I ask a question about what Fade is thinking? Only because I'm going to bring it to the surface again. The person who's leading the summit at Summit House is your birth mother.
Yes, everyone else in that room, though, Fade would not like to see continue.
Oh, okay.
But the feelings surrounding her mother are complicated, to say
Okay.
the least.
Okay.
What are the odds? What are
Nobody
the
else knows that. Only you know that, of course.
Right.
What are the odds that all of them have a DHF backup?
Extremely
100.
high.
Pretty high, right? So if something bad's gonna happen to them, like they get
Like, I don't know, being sucked into an AI that doesn't let information back out.
yeah, then maybe Kai, you infiltrating and blowing them up is the option.
You know, I have something for this. I was saving this for a rainy day, but I see storm clouds on the horizon. Kai will rush to his backpack and pull out what has been the only thing keeping it as large as it is. I'd like to take a bomb, a brick of C4 about the size and shape of about 6 cinder blocks. And it's just got, I'm going to grab a marker and write life raft on the side of it. How's that? We'll save them from themselves and store them safely and immediately on the server.
Question for the GM. This bomb, could I consider it a weapon? Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this will be
Kai-
a weapon that he would have acquired from black market using the creds from the account.
So Akira goes,
If it
okay,
matters.
so our plan is before Psychosec can kill them, we're going to kill them first and steal their DHF.
We killed them so they can
Wow.
upload to their private backups safely away from the influence of the AI. Meanwhile, Brittany and I infiltrate the Psychosec project headquarters to cordon off locks and make it so he can't suck any more information in.
Okay.
If we can, I would be relying heavily on Brittany. I don't know. I mean, listen, Saren, I can wreak havoc, and I would love nothing more than to rip out every single fucking throat in that place. But I'm not going to be able to hack the computers, and you know it.
She can do it.
Okay,
So what
that
do you
leaves
Fade?
that leaves the Rave and the Endless.
Faye's just gonna start doing
Someone's probably gonna have to be there to, I don't know, find them or something. So Fade to fit in, and me for, I don't know, whatever else needs to be done.
Are you gonna be my dance partner?
I really don't want to. But
Right.
if
I
it
can
comes to
teach
that,
you.
Sounds like we've all got a job.
Akira, are you going to go with Bright or
She goes, I'm going with Kai. He may need someone to pull him
Who?
out if things go wrong.
Kai? I mean, I don't know who Bright is. He's just such a bright guy.
Yeah. I'm with Kai. We're a
Can
team.
you imagine? Is Bright in the room right now? Are you seeing people again?
Just floating jellyfish, man.
Question is, how do we get past security? Is this that Palmer?
I think that's probably the best bet.
All right. Who had that relationship with him? Was that you, Pearce, or was it?
It was me.
Who actually saved him? Yeah, you were in the car and saved him, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Fade. I'm sending you some shit. And Morgan's gonna like get on her Oni and send over some like detailed information about like she's pulling up her communications. I'm sure she received like a request to like perform at this rave. She's gonna send Fade like artist information of like how to get in, all of the things. She'll actually send a set list time for Yellow Jacket.
Okay.
And like with a little note that says just steal this bitch's set kind of a deal to like try and get her in, and it will have like the access passes and everything for Fade. She'll also send her I feel like this technology probably exists, like the audio files for most of Sonata's music, like a set list kind of a deal.
Yeah.
And say, Yellow Jacket's shit's all AI generated anyways. So if you can get on there and have a convincing enough look and play this, you should be fine. That'll at least get you in, and God forbid you have to take the stage. You should be fucking set.
I should be fine.
What they tell
You
people.
know you've assured she's going to take the stage now, right?
There was never an option for me not to.
Listen, I'm gonna take joy in the fact that that bitch is not gonna be happy. And there's no one else I would rather send than her, as she points to Fade. Yellow Jacket's a pain in my fucking ass.
Yellow Jacket just like a competing superstar? Who is this that you're... Who's this nemesis we've never heard of before?
It hasn't been relevant. It's fine. She'll serve her purpose and it'll be over.
Well, as it happens, I am so glad that you had mentioned Yellow Jacket on your own.
I'm bringing it around.
I've been sitting on this for like weeks.
So long.
And I was thinking, okay, I got Trask, got all my villains, and now I have another one. Thank you.
And then Fade will use the information to contact the politician that we saved. That's
So your request is to basically give you access to Summit House.
yes, we have two military contractors who would like to gain access to bid on defense deals with some of these clients. They're an independent agency, and if this person wouldn't mind speaking to the efficacy of said contractors, as they were the ones who saved him, you know, blah blah blah.
Okay, so that's going to take. We haven't really been using it too much, but game mechanics wise, that would take an influence point.
Okay.
And he gave you one. I said you had one with him, so you lose. Basically, cash in the favor. This is a big one though. It's a little bit. Summit House right now,
right,
and the most important people in the Protectorate.
Right.
So I think you're leveraging Sonata's. This is Sonata making the request, or is this Morrigan making the request?
It would have to be Morrigan, I feel like, narratively, right? Because Morgan's the one that saved him.
That's right.
Even if it's not even like getting access to the building, like not even necessarily that, like,
Yeah, that floor. Yeah,
you know
you're
what I
right.
mean? Like just
So-
getting in.
So that no roll. If you just want to get into Summit House, because remember this thing is probably like 300 floors, goes up
Yeah.
into the clouds. They get access. Just the
Yeah.
top levels would be restricted because of the summit that's taking place. So you're going to have to leave it to Kai to scale the outside.
Yeah, I guess I'd ask, like, I would ask Kai, you tell me, Kai, do you want to work for it or do you want me to just give it to you?
Flustered, Kai will kind of like stammer over himself. Well, I'm sorry, what are we talking about here? I was marveling the life raft and I was distracted and
Okay.
What?
Would you like me to try to get you in the room with the meth fucks, or are you okay to just be in the building?
Right. Christ. You might have enough on your plate. I think getting in the building is just fine.
Okay.
I might have a little plan, a little side plan, a little side action going.
So
as well.
here's essentially what you're given. About 5 floors down from where the restricted floors begin, you're actually going to have a meeting with a military contractor that represents Roman Volkov. He's one of the Mets. While they have not committed, they would kind of basically, based on your interaction, Palmer would say, if things go well, so if Volkov is not held up, you'll get 10 minutes with him. You'll get to shake the hand of the guy who you saved the pleasure, you rescued the pleasure sleeve for. That work?
Question, DM.
Yep.
Sorry. The individual who contacted me, what was his name? Chambers? The one who contacted me from my Protectorate days.
Oh,
He
Gunner.
wanted to grab a drink. What was that?
Yeah.
Gunner.
Yeah.
He said he was leaving, right? Is he still around or had he already taken off?
He said he was leaving for World City, if to be specific. He's likely going to. He's a Protectorate. You know from your Black Ops network that he was somehow connected to a team that was being directed by the Secretary General herself. You guess he's probably going to be at Summit House on security detail.
Is there any way that I could send him a tip that would dissuade them from being on security detail at that location, and give them some sort of inside knowledge once it's obtained by either Saren or Luke, Fade? Damn it.
Well,
Ty, you did it to me.
so here's the deal. You are basically on the intelligence network. The odds are, just as happened in the past, the odds are that when you get there, the current active teams are going to appear on your grid, right? You're basically going to be like getting their chatter. If things happen the way they've happened in every time you've crossed them in the past, which means you could essentially exploit that network and go, oh, we need team 2, need backup in this location or whatever your imagination can come up with.
In that case, because if I know that they're going to be working security there, then Kai will definitely change his perspective. And after he scans through that, he'll be like, on second thought, Morrigan, perhaps it's better to get into the room directly.
So that's going to take a diplomacy roll, Morgan.
Let me ask you this, Kai. How persuasive do you feel? Because if we can get you 10 minutes with Fuck Sleeve McFuckerson. and you can convince him that you're actually helpful to him, maybe he can get you into the room.
Yeah, well, the question is, what do I do with the other 9.5 minutes? But
I'm sure you'll think of something.
But no, yeah. I'm not one for... I don't know if you piece this together, but this thin, charming veneer is like a scratch's depth away from revealing that I'm a bit of a dumb shit. And...
Gotcha. Better with your hands. I'll see what I can do.
Wink. Yeah, if you could, they'd be
A
much
diplomacy roll?
Yes. Diplomacy roll. Don't forget, you have stack points that you can spend.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
It's probably not.
Oh, hell yeah. It's
Oh.
a 4 under 5,
Yeah.
but I will go ahead and spend 2 stack points
Okay.
to make it a 2.
Okay. So here's what changes. Exact same detail. There's going to be a 10-minute meeting with Volkov, but it's going to happen on the floor, not in the room. If you want it in the room, basically it's like there's a central meeting room and there's all kinds of side meeting rooms off of it.
Yeah.
Around it. In one of those side meeting rooms, Kai gets 10 minutes with Volkov.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, that's preferential. I happen to know that there's a security detail. By the way, I've got tabs on the Protectorate in case that information's useful.
Got tabs, and you could potentially influence their actions.
Oh yeah, I did do that once. Well, yeah, if you'd like. We could feed them whatever information might be useful to you.
Yeah, or either in the moment, or what have you. But it's a tool in your arsenal.
Yeah, sleep on it.
All right.
Great. So do we all understand what we're doing? Fade? Tell me your plan.
Well, I'm gonna go in and find Yellow Jacket, and I'm gonna make her indisposed, and then I'm going to dress up like her and go out on stage and put on the best show that they've ever had, at which point the Endless will just approach me and say, hey, can you be our new leader?
Okay.
Right.
Close enough.
Saren, you're going with her, right?
I'm gonna find the endless.
We'll find them, don't
Right.
worry.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm assuming those of you who are flying, you're going to go first, so that everybody's roughly there at about the same time. Roughly.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see here. So World City. So Fade and Pearce, you can take your flight over to World City, and it's amazingly beautiful from above. I mean, it's essentially it's just a city as far as you can see from horizon to horizon. The lights towering up into the sky are these mega skyscrapers that disappear into the clouds. And of course, at the very center of World City is Summit House. You can see it as you descend, but you are going past all the lights and brilliance. You're going down into the darkness below, which will become light again, the lights of the rave. Meanwhile, Kai, you as well. So
Before he leaves, actually,
yep. Oh yeah,
he's going to want to talk to Morrigan about one last thing.
absolutely.
This yellow jacket.
Everybody is departing. Akira will say, "I'll be waiting for you in the car," and you are all essentially leaving Morrigan alone with Brittany, and you can walk back inside.
Look, this yellow jacket character. You happen to know what they look like? A picture? I know
Yeah.
your visage has been pretty much public secret, but Yellow Jacket, is he or she well known? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, she's kind of a gaudy bitch. Morrigan will just quickly send a link to Yellow Jacket's social media presence, which I imagine would be highly active. And like there will be, like, you'll notice like there are several digs at Sonata embedded in most of them. And like lately, as Sonata has not been highly active, there'll be kind of some shit like really catty subtweet kind of bullshit.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Wow. She's special, isn't she? Tell me something.
Yeah.
On a scale of like 1 to Major Darius, how much do you hate this bitch?
Honestly, I don't think about her all that much. She just makes my life in the industry fucking hell.
All right, that's all fine and cute, but be honest, how much do you actually hate her? When people aren't listening and you don't have to be political about it.
Right. I hear you. She's a talentless hack. I don't think of her. I like actual hate, like a 2. But I'm not gonna lie, sending Fade to deal with her, to just even interact with her at all, fills me with just fucking intense satisfaction. This bitch has been on my heels for ever since I entered the scene.
Right. Well, maybe we'll have a talk about having your wires refixed in the right way later. It seems like something is a bit of a disconnect, but you say you don't hate her. That's fine. I'll let it go. Thanks for the photos. I may have something for you when we return. Don't do anything I would do, and don't die.
Okay, well, give me a kiss before you go, because I might.
And he's like, Kira's watching, like for a split second, and then
Kira gives a big sigh and rolls her eyes at Kai and turns and goes, "My God, I'll be waiting outside."
he comes back. He's like laughing about it,
She
and
like
then
to say, and just for the record, she winks at you, Morrigan. You suck at this. She'll say it. She turns and walks out of the room.
But yeah, he'll laughing about it because he's cheeky. He'll scoop her up to kind of bring her up to his level.
Great.
Come back.
Give him hell.
Oh, you too. Have a good show as he leaves.
Yelling over at Fade.
So I'm gonna throw it up to the group. This feels like it might be a good spot because basically we're set up for the final confrontation. So we have a choice. We can either be here for another 3 hours tonight, or we have everything set up. This was for me. This was very satisfying because it was a good session for role playing and for bring all your characters' arcs closer to conclusion.
Yeah. There's 2 quick questions I'd like to resolve really quick though, because Sonata Morrigan is taking Brittany. She'd have some questions. Saren said some weird shit to Morrigan when they were going to sculpt last session. Do you not remember, Ty?
What do you mean? I remember.
You remember?
Yeah.
Right. Like if we're like all closing out and stuff, like Morrigan would have like looking at Brittany and looking at Saren and kind of, so you just are going with me or what?
You say to Britt, I'll do whatever needs to be done to help Pearce. Or Saren, she would say Pearce.
Okay. Right. Saren, you don't have anything to add to this? You're just gonna... I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing with this. Or with her, or any of it. I get that she'll know what to do when she gets there, but like...
If need be, Brittany can always reach out to me, and I can give input or help her if she needs it.
Okay.
I trust Brittany enough to help you in this moment.
There is one other option, Saren. It is illegal, but she kind of shrugs at what you're doing is already illegal. She goes,
Yes.
We could make a backup. We could copy your DHF. All of the equipment is here. And print you when we arrive. Effectively double sleeving you.
That's right.
You lucky bastard.
But I don't get to do the rock, paper, scissors. Oh, man. I mean, what are you more comfortable with, Morgan?
It's fine. There's a chance that we're not coming back, and you seemed pretty hell-bent on keeping her safe, and we're going to an AI showdown. I just want you to understand what that means. I'm
That's a
getting
good
the
point.
sense that people here don't really know how to, like, understand consequences for actions, and that's been a trend this whole fucking time.
I get the sense that all of you think you're gonna die on this excursion, and I'm coming back.
This is what we'll do. I think it's a good idea. It's going to be weird to double sleeve, but it makes sense to do it. I will send Brittany with Saren too, because she needs to be protected one way or another, and I think she can help with the AI situation.
Just so you understand, Morrigan, you're going to have a much easier time entering this facility than I am. I'll have to bypass the firewalls. That means that for a few moments, you will be alone.
Right. I've done that for long enough. I think I can do it for a few more minutes. Great.
Or Brittany can come with me. I can send my duplicate with you. That way you have someone immediately when you land.
So here's the deal. This will be the trick. She's not needle casting in. She's using her power. So you would have to drag it with you. It's something you've never tried, but obviously Aquaria can do it.
Yeah. But that would require Saren 1 to come with me.
What?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I could try and take the copy.
Well, the copied DHF would have its own signature.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, they're identical. So essentially,
Okay.
a backup is the person. So
Okay.
the only awkward thing is at the beginning of this, both will have the same memories and experiences, but at the end of it, of course,
Right.
going to live for whatever
Well,
hours go by.
What's the really awkward thing is that the body that's going to get printed is going to be my original body.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is. It's going to be original body. Yeah.
So, okay.
Question is, which one, at the end of it all, which one dies?
I love that question. I love that question so much I could kiss her right on the mouth.
I want to take that question behind the Kai school and get it pregnant.
Because one would have to.
It's very good. Okay. Morgan would just kind of look at Saren and like, okay, but all right, yeah.
So is Saren deciding up front which one is number one and which one is not? Yeah. So number one is going to the endless, and number two is going.
Well, I mean,
the copy is going with Morrigan.
So we're really just printing a DHF. Like we're just copying the DHF. The DHF.
It will be you. It will be.
I know,
Saren.
but the backup will be
the backup
taken with Morrigan.
Yep.
So my body right now will go with Faye.
Yeah. Okay.
So Saren Prime goes to party.
Yeah.
Saren Omega goes.
Saren Omega. So just so Morrigan, you understand that you are the Saren that you are taking.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like do the music.
But he's going on a suicide mission.
Correct. Correct.
But he understands that since Saren realizes that, the copy realizes that.
Oh my god.
Right.
Which Saren is going to go with the pretty synth girl? Which one is going to go on the suicide mission? I don't know. We'll find out.
Great.
It doesn't matter because they're both
right. Okay, cool. And then the only other thing Morgan would want to wrap up is just like a quick moment with Fade as they're like getting ready to go. She'll just walk up to Fade and like hand her a guitar case. Just, I know you don't know what the fuck to do with this, but just take this moment to be yourself and take everything that crowd will give you.
Absolutely. Did you hear Saren called me pretty?
You are.
I might go get some ice cream before this.
Oh, God. And that's all.
And you all part ways, heading towards your destinies, the truth, and a final confrontation. And that's where we'll end tonight. Thank you so much. Great role-playing night. I know for those of you who like action, that was last week and will be next week. But tonight, some great character development. And finally a kiss. There we go. So I guess we'll just go around, say our exits, what you might be involved in the upcoming week. And so 2 weeks from today is the finale, the conclusion. And there's some twists coming. Okay. I'm done.
Reverse order. Hello, everyone. I am Tyrant. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Dr. Tyrant. I played Sarah Pearce, who will be double-sleeved come next episode, and it's going to be very interesting and fun. As for what I have coming up, I am off until next Monday, where we will be returning for the next episode of Winterfield's Finest, where a bunch of our crazy band of adventurers are going to go tromping through the woods. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're definitely going to get through whatever Turk is planning. I don't think there's going to be any problems with that. After that, I have another extended break until Dark Echoes next, not this Saturday, but the coming up Saturday, our Christmas Stride campaign here at TPK, and then the finale of Atrium of Aquarius. We will see what happens. I'm super excited for it. But let's pass it on over to Sarah.
Hi, I'm Osirix Franco. I played Morrigan. If you like my face and the words I say sometimes, you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Osirix Franco. I'm involved in a bunch of different TTRPG projects, both here on TPK Roleplay. You can catch me tomorrow night in the Harpers. You can find me in Dark Echoes, as well as barding the GM's refrain. That's what my brain just tried to do. GMing the Bard's refrain. We also have our finale of that later this month on the date that I can't remember. Currently in my brain.
28th.
The 28th. Thank you. So August 28th, big bad evil guy finale. And you can also find me over at Nat20 in shows like Morningstar and Company, which is normally every Sunday. However, next week will be on the 10th instead of Sunday. So come check that out. It'll be super cool and great. I'm also going to be in a one-shot adventure over on Neon Lights Roleplay soon. So keep an eye on my Twitter for details about that. And that's about it. Kicking over to Luca.
Hi, I'm Luke Locke, and I play Fade, who is once again feeling herself, and therefore feeling herself. And tomorrow I am running Harper Investigations, and then probably going to end up burning down a forest as Johnny Rust, the failed detective in Winterhold's Finest. And then I am back for Dark Echoes on the 14th, and the finale of Atrium of Aquarius on the 16th, and then Harper's again, and it starts all over. So keep an eye out for that, and then Bard's Refrain finale happenings later this month, and it's fine. It's all fine. Up to Bright.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bright Dystopia. You can find me all across the internet at Bright Dystopia. I stream on my channel every Tuesday and Thursday, and now on Wednesdays and Fridays and Sundays, you can find me over in my Discord, where we will be running Magpie games. If you go to magpie.com/GM/Bright Dystopia, you can sign up and play in one of my games in the Avatar universe. So if you like Avatar: The Last Airbender and you like me, please come sign up for a game. Other than that, I will see you all in 2 weeks with the conclusion of Altered Carbon here on TPK. So yeah, if the internet is a void that you scream into frequently, come visit me. Other than that, I will throw it on over to Fzool.
You can sign me up. I love the movie. Like I'll tell you, I'm there on Avatar. All right, sorry, I'm serious. And Sarah, what would be really funny is if Pascal jumped onto your table and Paxton jumped onto my lap.
That would have been perfect. That would have been perfect timing.
There would be rolling of initiative, I guarantee.
Speed dice, let's go.
Paxton does not like cats, though. But anyway, I'm Zool. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to the great cast, great role playing tonight. We'll be back here in 2 weeks for the finale of the Atrium of Aquarius. And that's all I have going on right now, but there's other stuff in the works. So that's it. Stay safe and have a great week. See you later.